Hello. Slightly different video today. I wanted to talk about the TikTok fragrances. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about. But some people are starting to get into this hobby or interest, and they're curious as to whether or not these ones they see on TikTok are actually worth the cash. So I figured, if you're willing to trust a random guy on the internet, then I can give you a quick idea as to what you're working with here. Probably the most notorious, Lattafa Khamrah, probably the most talked about one out there. Long story short, if you're looking for a quick and easy answer, yes, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, if you see a fragrance on TikTok that's hyped up by thousands of people, it's hyped up for a good reason. Not to say that it's the best in the world or whatever, but there's a really good chance that it's actually pretty good. I've been in the fragrance hobby for a long time, so I hope you can take my word for it. Anyways, the Lattafa Khamrah, one of the most notorious for being a really good, cheap winter fragrance. Yes. Worth the money. If you're okay with smelling like everybody else that's also wearing it. I actually just did a video on this recently, solely dedicated just to this. So if you want a more in-depth review of it, go check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about this one pretty short and simple. But smells awesome. Smells great. Great for the cold winter. Good bang for your buck. You know. Like I said, if you're really considering picking that up and you want to know more about it and what it's going to be like before you buy it, which you should, check out my other video I uploaded like a couple weeks ago. I unboxed it and gave it a really good review. And if you want to know why I'm whispering, this is like 50% ASMR video, so hopefully it is in some way relaxing. But yeah, that's the Lattafa Khamrah. If you're gonna buy it, go for it. Make sure it's from a reliable source, though. Don't buy it off of some shady website for $5 and be confused when you get, I don't know, not that. This doesn't get hyped up nearly as much as it used to be, but yeah, I think it still does every now and then. Lattafa Fakar Black, once again, yes, it's worth it. It's a YSL EDP dupe, and it does a pretty good job of it. And honestly, in my opinion, the YSL line is just not anywhere near worth the amount of money that they ask for. And this does a plenty good job at doing exactly what that tries to do. So yeah, worth the money. Most of the time, if you see a fragrance getting a lot of hype, if it's by Lattafa, you can probably trust it. The only ones that I don't trust most of the time are the ones where it's someone being like commissioned to say something. You know, but yeah, Lattafa Khamrah, really good and fresh smell. And honestly, the performance on this stuff is kind of wicked. Like, a few sprays and you're smelling it for a long time, far away. Which for a fresh smell is pretty hard to come by. Which, same thing goes for this guy. Afnan 9 p.m. This is, in a lot of people's eyes, the TikTok fragrance. And yeah, basically everything that you see people say about this or hear them say about it is true. It's worth all the money that you pay for it. All $20 or whatever it is. And I don't know if I said this yet or not, but I'm obviously not sponsored or commissioned or in any way by any of these people or whatever. This is just a video I felt like making because I know that some people are reasonably skeptical of the pretty ridiculously low prices that you can find these things at. But yeah, like I said earlier, just don't buy it off of some shady weird website and you'll be fine. Amazon or Joma Shop will do you good. Yeah, this stuff projects crazy. It smells great, like a ball of cotton candy, really. And it'll last literally just forever. Like, off 9 p.m. It's gotta be one of the craziest it's probably the most out of all my fragrances, I think that Afnan 9 p.m. caught me off guard the most, or surprised me the most when it comes to its performance and how crazy good it was. Next up, this is also, you definitely recognize this, Lattafa Asad. Once again, another Lattafa, $25. This one is, people like to say that it's a dupe of Dior Sauvage Elixir. But in my opinion, it's just not. Like, they have their similarities. Like, I'll say that much. But as far as dupes go, this is not. Don't go into Sephora, smell Dior Sauvage, and then say to yourself, oh, okay, I'll just get Lattafa Asad and it'll be that. You're gonna be disappointed. They're similar, but by no means are they the same. To break it down as simple as possible, Lattafa Asad smells like a bottle of Coke, but like in a good way, not like a you spill a bottle of Coke all over yourself kind of way, but like it's obvious that you want to be smelling like that, if you know what I mean. There are some fragrances out there where it's like questionable, like if someone's wearing something that is a rather strange smell. You might not be able to tell if it's on purpose or not. This smells different. If you're not used to things that smell slightly different than a normal cologne, but it's still obvious that it smells good and that it is meant to smell good, and that's how it's meant to smell. No one's gonna think otherwise when they smell it. Sometimes when I see a review for a fragrance and they say something like, oh, this smells like this, or it smells like that, and they proceed to describe something that isn't necessarily, attractive, then I don't know how to, go about that. And people usually don't, talk about whether or not it's necessarily a good or bad thing. But yeah, this, it smells like a bottle of Coke, but in a calming, attractive kind of way. A little hard to explain, but it's worth the money. Pick it up. Just don't wear it in the summer. This guy right here, Qaed Fursan, got its fair amount of fame for a little while there. It literally just smells like you just smell like a can of pineapple. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. And once again, the same thing I just said about Asad. It's noticeable that that's how you want to smell. It's not a bad, oh, you spilled pineapple. It's a good, fresh, citrusy, but very rich and strong, pungent pineapple. And it's good. There's not a single fragrance here that is not worth every penny that is asked of it. And they all perform like crazy. I don't know if I mentioned that about all of them, but they all do perform ridiculously good for the cost. I don't know if you're sensing a pattern here, but the vast majority are Lattafa. That's honestly probably the majority of my collection itself. Because Lattafa is just so good at making high quality, just really high quality, good performing, good projecting fragrances, and then proceeding to list them for basically nothing. It's crazy. Granted, the vast majority of them are inspired by other fragrances, but hey man, someone's gonna do it. They might as well make a buck off of it, I guess. But yeah, this stuff, like I said, projects crazy. You smell like pineapple, plain and simple. Nothing crazy going on, but it's definitely not boring, When's the last time you picked up a bottle of cologne or whatever and it smelled like a can of sliced pineapple? Probably half past never. So yeah. Last one that I have right here right now is Halloween Man X. this gets hyped up by a fair amount of people, and I even do my fair share of hyping it up because it's just that good. You can't go wrong with this stuff, plain and simple. I mean, it's definitely more of a winter fragrance, cold weather, but I mean, if I was in a pinch, I wouldn't be bothered to wear it. Like, I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a big deal if you wore it in the summer. Like, if you wore this every day, I don't think anyone would really bat an eye or care. But yeah, if you haven't heard of it or haven't heard much about it, it's like a dark, it has that basic cologne-y smell to it. You know what I mean by cologne smell? Like a basic idea of what a man's cologne will smell like. Imagine that, but a higher, deeper quality, richer, deeper, darker, with coffee in the mix. That's exactly what it is. And it's awesome. I think I got that for $40 back when I got this. I've had everything in my collection for a long time, the vast majority of it anyways. I had all of this before TikTok decided to be its thing, but yeah, no, you can't go wrong with it. If you can find it for less than $40, pick it up. If you think you're ever gonna buy it, finding it for less than $40, pick it up. 'Cause odds are next time you go to pick it up, it'll be $40. So yeah, if you see it listed for 30, 35, grab it. But yeah, man, this stuff is it's a gold mine, really, for any man that just wants to smell good, cheap, easy. I mean, any of these are really, or woman, whatever. I own a few female fragrances that I wear usually because I just don't care, If it smells good, I'm gonna wear it. There are a few more fragrances I have that I don't have right now with me, like Lattafa's Oud for Glory or Oud for Greatness, whatever it is. I have that, and yes, it's worth the money if you were curious. Whatever is in the, I'll get a picture of everything I have that I'm talking about, and that'll be in the thumbnail. If you see it in the thumbnail, it gets my approval. I'll make it simple. But yeah, and there is this other thing. It was called like Rayhan something. It's supposed to be a dupe of Creative Ventus, and I personally I don't really like it. I think it might be the I think it's the only fragrance in my collection that I don't really enjoy all that much. Kind of like a throwaway, last minute, walking out the door, I'll throw this on, whatever kind of thing. trying to think of. Yeah, I think that's the majority of TikTok fragrances. Oh, I mean something like the Armani Stronger With Yous or the John Paul Gaultier's. If you are at all curious about any of those, I have smelled them, and yes, they're obviously worth it. If you feel like spending that much money, odds are you don't have to, and you can end up just getting something similar or something completely different that does the same job for half the cost. I like, I know some people, or probably most people, like to spend, like a good chunk of money on like a really nice, high quality fragrance that they'll use forever, but I personally like to take that chunk of money and get like 5 different weird fragrances and then try them all out, see what I like, explore random stuff. But I mean, I guess that's probably just me and other people that are into this stuff. But yeah, like I said, the TikTok fragrances, they're getting hype for a reason. They have hype and people yelling around about them for a reason. They're good. Maybe don't trust everything that, especially the ones that are on commission. If someone's on there yelling about how you need to pick up this random thing that you've never heard of, and their little thing says that they get money for it, odds are they're a little biased. But I mean, other than that, the vast majority of them, especially the Lattafa ones or the Alhambra ones, which a lot of people don't know are the same brand, or Armaf. Lattafa, Armaf, and Maison Alhambra are like the 3 most trusted brands in my opinion when it comes to like random cheap fragrances. If it's got that name on there, then you could probably feel pretty safe buying it. But yeah, that's enough yapping. I just wanted to talk about that in case anyone was curious about that stuff, and wanted to hear someone who knows their stuff talk about it. If y'all want to see more fragrance stuff, by all means let me know, and I'll gladly dive into more of it. I could talk about this kind of stuff all day. So basically a infinite content kind of thing, especially if I get more, So yeah.